guilty and will spend the rest of his life in one prison or another, whether it's in Louisiana or Mississippi, one of the most evil, diabolical, satanic, demon-possessed criminals to ever come through the city of Jackson, Hinds County, and frankly, America. Daniel Callihan will spend the rest of his life in prison. Unfortunately, not on death row for reasons unbeknownst to me, but we will find out here on this video from people that were in the courtroom and the family of his victims. You may remember this evil, evil man, Daniel Callihan. He murdered his girlfriend. He then murdered one of her young daughters and viciously did terrible, terrible things to the surviving daughter, left them both for dead in a ditch covered with maggots after him and his girlfriend actually abused the one that didn't die. I mean, it's just disgusting to even make this video. It just makes me sick. It's actually 11 o'clock here on a Monday night. I got to be up at 5:30 in the morning, but I could not make this video. I'm going to also talk about it on my radio show, The Clay Edwards Show, and you'll be able to listen to the long form podcast or video, wherever you're watching this, of that by 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. But first, I don't even like doing a sponsor on this or anything, but we got these brand new shirts here. Limited edition, available in large, extra large, and 2XL. It will be launching when you see this video. It'll be exclusively at buyfafo.com. You can see the scroll on the bottom of the screen there. This is a sweat absorbing, however you say that, sweat wicking, mossy oak limited edition bottomland camo FAFO shirt. And we have never made it available online. It is now available online. This was an in-person item only that we ran at the Mississippi Wildlife Extravaganza. Sold a bunch of them there, but we had a few left. I'm putting them online, making them available for the first time ever at buyfafo.com. Let's get into this. I kind of said everything I needed to say right there at the beginning, but we're going to go through it. We're going to play the video from WLBT. You may remember this photo I'm about to show here. This was when they arrested Callihan. Well, that's weird. Oh, it's not letting me. I see what it did there. It put the backdrop up. Let's see if I can add the photo real quick here. I know I can. Pictures. Well, you know what? It's not going to let me. Weird. It's only pulling up the videos. It's not letting me add that picture. Huh. Weird. Anyway, okay. Well, let's go to WLBT and let's play the video here that they have, kind of recapping what happened.
One count of capital murder.
Let me start it over.
Hinds County District Attorney describes the crimes Daniel Callihan pleaded guilty to in court today.
Yeah, he admitted to killing a mother, kidnapping her two daughters, then killing one of them. The crimes happened in June of 2024. Now, Callihan pleaded guilty to one count of capital murder, 2 counts of sexual battery, and 2 counts of kidnapping. 3 News Side's Quentin Smith has been following this story for us from the very beginning, and he joins us now with more from an emotional day in the courtroom. Quentin?
That's right, Howard. Just hours after Callihan was arrested, he confessed to our cameras that he committed the crimes, and he even expressed that he should receive the death penalty. Well, fast forward to today, the victim's family members say they don't want him to get the death penalty, but they are happy to know he will spend the rest of his life in prison. While in court.
Now, what I read over at jacksonjambalaya.com, and Kingfish did a really good job of recapping this, is that the sister of his girlfriend that he murdered said the only reason that he's not getting the death penalty is so the niece that survived, that he and his girlfriend sexually abused in every imaginable way, their quote, doesn't have to see him again and doesn't have to go through a trial. We've got to adjust our our court systems where young victims like that do not have to face their accusers and live with that, if that's what the holdup is here. But let WLBT continue.
Court, they looked at Callihan and expressed to him the hurt and pain he's caused them.
Monster, a predator, a murderer, a rapist,
For Brandi Hosch,
a coward. All the things that you are. You're not.
as she gathers her thoughts, she doesn't hold back, letting Daniel Callihan know the family is forever torn because of his actions.
We are forever changed in the worst possible way because of you. You have no limits, no soul. You are a demon. And one single day that is by that you are not sad, laughed, angry, or sickened because of you.
This is Callihan in court, owning up to the crimes he committed. Everything goes back to last year. In June of 2024, that's when Callihan admitted to killing Callie Brunett in her home in Louisiana. He stabbed her more than 50 times. Callihan then kidnapped her two daughters, who were 6 and 4 years old at the time, drove them nearly 2 hours across state lines to Jackson. Once here in the capital city, Callihan performed sexual acts on the 6-year-old and then killed the 4-year-old by suffocating her to death. The 6-year-old survived and was returned to her family.
Both children were.
Now I want to run that back just a little bit there.
The 4-year-old by
Look at this. He performed sexual acts on the 6-year-old. I mean, just absolutely disgusting. And the girlfriend, I don't know if they mentioned this. I hadn't watched the WLBT video yet. I read all of Kingfish's article. I wasn't aware of this at the time. The girlfriend, who I was giving a little bit of grace to, just thinking maybe she was sort of along for the ride and feared for her life, and she was strung out on dope. She still needed to go to prison. I didn't think she needed to get off or anything like that. But apparently the girlfriend performed oral sex on the young girl. I mean, they both deserve the effing death penalty. If anybody ever deserved the death penalty, it's these two, especially this sick bastard. Let him finish here.
Suffocating her to death. The 6-year-old survived and was returned to her family.
Both children were left in a ditch to rot with a mattress covering their bodies. No child anywhere in civilized world, or in the world at all, should face such a fate.
District Attorney Jody Owens says while Callihan did admit to his crimes, he didn't act alone. He says Callihan's then-girlfriend, Victoria Cox, helped him commit these crimes. Right now, she's in jail until her trial date, which still has not been set.
As you heard today, Mr. Callihan did allocate in his understanding that she was part of the crime, so we think our case is stronger against her today. She is facing capital murder charges as well, kidnapping charges as well, and we hope for the sake of the family that she will accept some responsibility in the future.
She needs to accept the death penalty. People need to die over this, whether it's lethal injection, a fucking firing squad, or some prison justice. How about some of these black folks that have zero empathy, sympathy, or understanding about the value of human life? Some of these young thugs that are in prison for killing their own consistently over and over dumb shit. How about one of them maybe get a little payback, maybe a little redemption, and take a sick some bitch like this out as kind of an apology to society for the hell that they've raised and caused. I mean, I damn sure would load up their canteen account. Ain't that what it's called in jail? Your canteen? I don't know. I ain't never been to prison. Been to jail, but not long enough to get more than a bologna sandwich. Let him finish here. We've got 17 more seconds left.
Callihan also pleaded guilty to charges in Louisiana. He will now spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. The 37-year-old will also be sentenced for federal charges as well right here in Mississippi. That sentencing date is set for November 19th.
If it's anything other than the death penalty, it's useless. He's going to spend the rest of his life in Angola prison down in down in Louisiana. Hopefully he'll participate in the Angola rodeo and catch a catch a hook to the heart, to the throat. I'm serious. I have no sympathy, empathy, none of that. I don't want to hear anything about praying for our enemies. It's only God can judge him. I'm judging. I'm definitely judging. He's a piece of shit, deserves to rot in hell, deserves to get there the quickest way possible. He doesn't deserve to get 3 hots in a cot for the rest of his life. He doesn't deserve to sit in a prison cell, to get to read, to get to participate in whatever the hell goes on in prison. He doesn't deserve prison ministries. He doesn't deserve redemption. He doesn't deserve forgiveness. He doesn't deserve any of that. He deserves a slow, painful fucking death. That's what if the death penalty doesn't exist for this guy, what the fuck does it exist for? I try not to cuss in these pre-recorded videos, but every now and then, I'm not trying to make money on this. I'm not trying to get monetized. I'm not trying to do any of that. Because when you cuss, it demonetizes them anyway. I'm trying to get a point across. But in my family, I understand. I don't have any say-so in this, but as a citizen, and this goes back to when this happened, I called the city of Jackson out. There's a reason this sick bastard came up from Louisiana to Jackson, Mississippi, because he knew it was a criminal safe haven. And they could shack up in that house over there on Boozer Drive, Boozer Road, Boozer Lane, whatever the hell it's called over there across from the cemetery on McClure Road. When you take Savannah Street exit off 55, you cross over Terry Road, it turns into Savannah, turns into McClure. There's a cemetery there, Lakeland South, I think. I think it's Lakeland South. Anyway, something south. There's another cemetery. Its sister cemeteries over there on Clinton Boulevard. It's that little crack kid, white trash street right across the street from it. I used to know I went to school with a girl and her brother or something like that. I don't want to say their names because I actually do remember it, but they lived on the corner there. It was as trashy as it got. And this was back in the early 90s, 91-ish, 91. I went to Winton Junior High and we rode the school bus and we used to have to pick them up right there. I remember trashy. And that road was dangerous then. Like my parents told me, you don't drive down that road. There ain't nothing good down Boozer Road. And that's where they were shacked up at. And so they say it's an old pet store. First off, this is a residential street with a bunch of crack houses. I'm not sure what kind of pet store existed on Boozer Lane, Boozer Road, Boozer whatever. But he came here because he knew he could shack up. He knew that the city of Jackson didn't enforce its squatter laws. Hell, it doesn't have any to enforce. And there's no telling what else went on at that house. Oh, man, I remember the chief of police at the time. I mean, he was shook. The previous chief was absolutely shook. I did get the picture to load up that I wanted to show y'all. Here it is here. This is when they drug his ass out of the ditch there. And I got this picture off Jackson Jambalaya from Kingfish. I think he imposed the 2 young girls onto the photo. So photo credit to Kingfish. Now, I did have this photo somewhere, but neither here nor there. There's the 2 young girls. One of them is deceased, and the other, I just pray that she doesn't remember what happened to her. That would be the best thing possible, that she just doesn't remember, that she doesn't remember she had a sister, and that they just, frankly, they need to shield her from any of this, in my opinion. Sick bastard. I hope he rots in hell. Tune into the Clay Edwards Show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 103.9 FM WYAB in Central Mississippi. If you're in the car, if you are watching online, YouTube, any other streaming platform, we're all of them live, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 7:07 a.m. to be exact, to 9 a.m. And of course, the replays are available immediately in live time. So we'll see you on the radio or see you online. Hit subscribe, hit share, sign up for a special membership here on YouTube, and get some extra perks, some bonus content, discounts on merch, and more. Just hit the join button, and it'll give you a couple options that you have available right there. And don't forget this shirt that I'm wearing, special edition, long sleeve, Sweat Tech, Mossy Oak, bottom land camo FAFO shirt. There's only about 20 of them in existence. Large, extra large, and 2X. Limited numbers available. Get yours today before they're all gone. And when they're gone forever.